Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Wine with Jimmy channel. Thank you for clicking by. So what is this channel all about? It's wine education, which is designed around key text and key syllabus of major wine qualifications around the world. So if you are studying certain wine qualifications, you will find these videos very useful, supplementing your research and studies to successfully pass your examinations. And here I have a video which is absolutely no exception. This is the Fortified wine section for the WSET Level 3. That's the Wine and Spirits Education Trust Level 3. I'm going to go through the short written questions and then I'll give you my examiner's answers so you can actually test yourself against these answers. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to get in touch in the comments section below this video. So this is going to be a short version of a much longer version, which is available on my e-learning portal. You'll need to go across to the Wine with Jimmy e-learning portal to subscribe for access to the longer format. But for now, it's a smaller video, what I call a taster. How should you use this? Well, every time that I pose a question, why don't you try and pause the video and then answer yourself? Then unpause and you'll see me going through the question and the answers and seeing if you scored as good as the examiner. So I first of all want to say, why is studying the Fortified wine section so important? And it really is. In your WSET Level 3 theory examination, you will get 4 differing questions. So this is question 1, 2, 3, 4, short written. Each of them are worth 25 marks. Now, you'll see there that I have got 3 columns, questions 1, 2, and 3. And this is really where I'm giving you maybe a generalized possibility of what may come up, but there is no hard fact that this will happen. But maybe you'll get something French, something other Europe, and then something New World. And it falls in what's called outcomes 1 and 2, which is grape growing, winemaking, and the wines of the world. You'll see for those questions, there's 70 marks. There's actually a total of 75 marks. That is because the other 5 marks is for storage and service, which will be asked at some point during question 1, 2, and 3. But look on the right-hand side, highlighted in green, it says guaranteed. You are guaranteed a question on sparkling and fortified. It's what we call the outcomes 3 and 4, which is sparkling and fortified. This will be a total of 25 marks, of which 5 of those will be storage and service. So you'll definitely get somewhere around 10 marks guaranteed on fortified written, whereas everything else really isn't guaranteed apart from sparkling. So this is why you should really spend a sizable amount of time researching and understanding fortified wines as well as sparkling wines. So now you understand the importance of studying this topic of fortified wines. If you wish to learn more about actual fortified wines in the exam, such as the wines of sherry, port, and things like fortified muscats, you'll need to watch one of my videos on that to get the full information, as according to the syllabus of WSET Level 3. And then you can attempt this question, of course, but why not have a go anyway? First up then, here is a question and you've got a label, and this is common practice. This is common examination practice to find label type questions. You'll see there is Domaine de Bernardin, the Muscat Beaumes-de-Venise. State and describe 3 methods from the vineyard or winery that protect and or enhance primary aromatics for this fortified wine. So we are not looking at an aged style. This is a youthful expression. We need to state something for a mark and describe for 2 marks 3 times. As you'll see, there are 9 marks available. So firstly, the Muscat grape variety here. It is very nice and detailed in the label that it tells you it's Muscat. So the Muscat grapes will be picked very ripe and healthy. So that's your state. And this means this will have no raisoning or drying that could actually impact the primary varietal characters. So this is a vineyard factor that would influence the style. So that's the Muscat grapes being picked very ripe and healthy, picked with no raisoning and drying, because that could mask the primary character. Number 2. So you'll see down here, once crushed, the juice may be kept in contact with the skin. So first of all, you could state skin contact. So once crushed, the juice may be kept in contact with the skins to increase aromatic intensity, and this may continue during part or all of the cool fermentation. So it could be something before or into the fermentation. And that's enough there to say skin contact 1 mark, what exactly skin contact is, and then what it does for increasing aromatics, which are based on primary. The third point, the storage vessel. And you'll say the wines are stored in inert vessels, such as steel, prior to bottling, protecting against oxygen to preserve the primary fruit aromas. So this could be where actually we could talk about the use of inert vessels across the production. So you could say that this will happen during fermentation and in terms of storing the wine before bottling. I would actually say all of that. So the use of inert vessels throughout the winemaking, and then aging, aging is the wrong word because we're not looking to age this wine, but storage of the wine before bottling. That will be enough to get you your 9 marks. And 3 typical primary aromas and flavors likely to be found in this wine. And we need to understand that the grape variety behind this fortified wine is Muscat. And Muscat will have a lot of aromatic power. You should know this from your studies. So this is things like floral-based compounds, orange blossom, rose, for example, and then quite sweet fruits, things like peach. You can have nectarine, apricot. You could have grape, for example, as well. And there's a fairly significant list. I've actually just put 4 there. You, of course, just need to put 3. But there is a slightly longer list that the examiner will actually pick from. Another label question here is looking at Graham's 20-year Tawny Port. And just before I do this, some of you might be thinking, well, the last question was quite tricky. I haven't really studied Muscat Beaumes-de-Venise or Fortified Muscat. It is the last page in your textbook, and it does come up. So please do not forget about it. So Graham's 20-year Tawny Port. They love this question because it tests your knowledge on the production of port, which is explain why this wine is sweet. So the majority of port is sweet. There is a very small percentage of dry white port, but most port is sweet. So if they're asking you a label question on a ruby, a tawny, a vintage, a single quinta, this is likely to form a part of the question. So explain why this wine is sweet. And this is going through the production technique. So fermentation is stopped, and there's 4 marks there. So fermentation is stopped once the alcohol has typically reached 5 to 9%. That's enough to get you a mark, with the addition of a grape spirit of 77% ABV, 2 marks, called Aguardente. And really, I think the marks here are about talking about fermentation being stopped early, the alcohol percentage at that time, the grape spirit being added, called Aguardente at 77%. And if you can't remember all of those, if you remember grape spirit or if you remember Aguardente, then either of those would be okay. And this leaves residual sugar in the final product. That will be your 4th mark. Really important. It's a bit of a mixture, this one, in your textbook. It's from the production section and then also what we call the fortification section as well. Now, why are extensive extraction techniques used prior to and including fermentation? So this is for this wine. Why would you have intensive extraction techniques. So if you would like to have the answer to this one, which is quite an important question again, you'll need to go across to the Wine with Jimmy e-learning portal and please subscribe to the Level 3 package, and that will give you access to not only the answer here, but tons of short written questions, multiple choice, flashcards, map questions, and of course, lots of filmed tutor-led content by me.